And joining me now, Republican Senator from Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey. Senator, you looked long and hard at all these candidates. Which one do you think should be the Republican nominee?
Last week I called Marco Rubio and I said, Marco, I want to help you any way I can. I want to help you become the next president of the United States. I'm endorsing his candidacy and I'm very optimistic about his prospects.
Well, why him? Why is he better than say, Cruz?
You know, we face a huge national security crisis, obviously emanating from the Middle East. There is tension all around the world. I think Marco has demonstrated a clear understanding. He's done the hard work. He's very knowledgeable, thoughtful. He's a smart guy. He's demonstrated the leadership. And, you know, domestically, I think we sometimes have a crisis of confidence, and Marco has an extraordinary ability, I think, to communicate and to inspire people. I think he's going to be a really strong leader.
Well, Jeb Bush earlier in the show said that Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio have never really made a tough decision in their lives. I noticed that you didn't say anything about any tough decisions he's ever had to make.
I think he has made some tough decisions. I think Marco's leadership in trying to make sure we would retain the ability that the NSA had to keep us safe was an important voice, and he was on the right side of that. I think he's been a very important leader on foreign policy generally. And look, he's got a history of this. I mean, he was elected to lead the House of Representatives in Florida.
Yeah.
Took on the establishment in Florida when there was a Republican governor who wasn't really a Republican governor, as we've all subsequently learned.
Yeah.
That's right, that's right. And Marco has consistently, I think, been a solid, thoughtful, conservative leader.
Well, let me ask you a question, because you are one of the 4 incumbent Republican senators who the establishment, the Republican establishment, talks about when they express concerns about either Donald Trump or Ted Cruz being on the top of the ticket, because you are in a battleground state, Pennsylvania, and you are up for re-election. The other ones would be Portman in Ohio, Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire, and there are a few others. But in any case, are you worried? I understand that you like Rubio because you like Rubio, but are you worried about Ted Cruz or Donald Trump on the top of the ticket? Would that hurt you in your re-election contest?
So I honestly don't think it's possible to know the answer to that question at this point, because the dynamics are very different for those 2 candidates. What kind of down-ballot effect they would have is not really knowable right now. Now, I will say, I think Marco Rubio is the strongest candidate to go up against Hillary Clinton. I think the contrast is terrific, especially on national security issues. I think he'll do extremely well in Pennsylvania, as he will across the country. But my real motivation is I think he's going to be a really good president.
Now, you disagreed with Marco Rubio on the immigration issue, on the Gang of 8. You disagreed with that bill. That's a bill that has a lot of conservatives very concerned about him.
Yeah. I did disagree, right? I voted against the Gang of 8 bill, but as you know, Marco has come to the conclusion that that's not the right way to go forward. And so we're in agreement now on how to go forward. I think many of the other candidates in this field have also changed their minds over various aspects of immigration, because it's a tough, complicated, difficult topic. But I think Marco is absolutely right. He understands nothing can happen until we convince the American people we have security on our borders and we can keep dangerous people out of this country. Marco understands that, and he's right.
All right, Senator Pat Toomey from the great state of, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thanks so much. Endorsing, full-throated endorsement of Marco Rubio. I really appreciate it.